We are here at OSL Bajaj, and as you can see from the bikes on my background, they turn out super huge. We'll be going inside the showroom in a couple of minutes, and then we'll have the Dominar, which is somewhere inside. So let's just go inside and take a look. It's not yet unveiled, so I cannot show you the bike as of yet, but that's the bike.
We'll start. 1, 2, 3.
The first thing I felt while engaging the first gear is how light the clutch is. This is not a surprise considering that it does have a slipper clutch, but what really surprised me was the LED headlight. I have not seen this level of illumination from any Indian stock bike, and many super bikes have lesser level of illumination. This is probably the only bike I would recommend for you to take out on a night highway tour with the stock headlights. If you're taking this bike through tighter spaces, the handlebar is smaller and it is very easy to maneuver. The bike does pack in quite a lot of punch, but the main difference is how good the suspension is. It completely gobbles up the bumps. At the same time, it keeps the bike stable. I think the focusing point of this motorcycle is how soft suspension setup is and how good it will be for Indian road conditions. Of course, I haven't cornered with this bike. I cannot comment whether this softer suspension setup will be a hindrance in cornering. For the turning radius in tight spaces, it is very good. Of course, you feel the 184 kgs of curb weight while you're doing a U-turn. While you're filtering or you're just maneuvering it, you just don't feel the weight. And it's more to do with the low and mid range, the strong low and mid range, which pulls the bike effortlessly. And we're just gonna test out a little bit of its power. I could say that it performed very well. I couldn't rev it that much, but there is a strong amount of performance in the low and mid range. I wasn't expecting so much power out of a 35 bhp of motorcycle, and I was expecting this to be much slower actually, but it surprised me. In city, this is more than the power you need, and on highway even, you're looking at a bike that will be doing 120-130 kilometers per hour all day, and it is claimed that it has 148 kilometers of top speed. I know you guys just wanted to know my first impression out of the motorcycle. After that, let's just take a look at the bike. Finally taking a look at the Bajaj Dominar. I just love these geometric lines. They make the bike look super aggressive. Of course, it follows the design language of Bajaj, which was introduced with the Pulsar 200 NS, but it's a much bigger bike. I mean, just looking at it, you can tell that it has a much bigger displacement with all the aggressive lines. The muscular tank comes in. We've got this beautiful new display which shows the Bajaj logo and all other indicators like ABS, engine indicator, battery indicator, which frees up the main console, and the main console displays all the important stuff like the RPM and the speedo. The switchgear is nothing to talk about, but it's decent, and the engine noise is very good for a single cylinder. It's got that throaty punch. Talking about the brakes, I'm glad that they put a 320mm single disc up front. It is from Brave, which also supplies the brakes for KTM and many other Bajaj bikes. Also, this bike gets a dual channel ABS, which means both the front and rear tire will be covered by the protection of ABS. I'm not sure whether it's from Bosch or from other manufacturer. The main thing about this bike, what really impressed me, was the LED headlight. The front headlights are absolutely a pleasure to look at, but more importantly, they're functional. This is probably the only Indian bike which I'm pleased with the stock headlight performance, and even for night touring, I don't think anything else will be required. The engine sound is of course very throaty and punchy. Let's just hear it. gets an all new swing arm with an X-ring chain, which is the first time for Bajaj. When you're looking at this bike, the level of detailing really impresses you. The paint is very nice and it's a very thick and glossy looking paint. The bike still runs MRF tires, MRF Rev Z, and it is a 150 rear section tire and the front is 110, similar to the Duke 390 or the Duke 200. The switchgear quality, well, there will be skeptics about it, but honestly, for a motorcycle which is 1.5 lakhs ex-showroom Delhi for the dual channel ABS version and 1.36 lakhs for the non-ABS version, you can't really ask for anything more. This is the most value for money motorcycle in India right now. I will go ahead and say it, from all classes and all categories. That is my initial impression and verdict. So if you guys are wanting to book this motorcycle, this is a complete online booking process, so I'll just leave the link in the description. My full review will take a little bit of time, but don't worry, it's coming. I'm gonna make it epic, so subscribe if you want to see the full review. Trust me, it will be good. Thanks for watching and I'll see you very, very soon. This is Rahul. Goodbye.